Hey Willie, this is Max Clausen with Metro Brokers, and I wanted to share with you the information that I came up with for your property at 16 Apache Plume. So it was great meeting you at Hoffman today, and I just wanted to give you this market analysis on your house that you're interested in the possibility of selling, give you some accurate information, and then also talk to you about my uh, ability to list your house, give you the best service as you're seeing right here at a discounted rate. So anyway, 16 Apache Plume. What I did is I went to public records, and once you gave me the address, I can go to Brighton or Adams County Public Records and pull up the information. So at any time you can hit pause on this if I'm scrolling too fast or whatever. You can look more in depth at the information on the screen, and then you can restart again. So I'm going to try and keep this relatively brief. I see that you bought the property in 2007 and you paid $240,000, so that was a great deal. So once I find this information, I go do an MLS search. And I search for properties that are within a half mile of your home that have a lot of the same characteristics. Two-story homes with 3 bathrooms for the most part, in a square footage right around 2,000 square feet. So I'm looking for very specific homes geographically close to yours that are very similar to yours. And so I came up with this list. There's 2 of them that are active currently on the market. Both of those are new builds. As you know, there's a lot of new building going around you. And so the builders are advertising that people can buy a brand new house with characteristics that are similar to yours. There are 5 properties that are currently under contract close by yours that are comps to your home. And we don't know what those contracts are at. We just know that what they were asking. And then in the last 90 days or the last 3 months, there have been 6 sales of 2 stories within a half mile of yours that have a lot of the same features. So I take this information from the Metro list, and then I download it into my own spreadsheet that I can change. I can find averages and analyze the data better when I have it in my own spreadsheet. So when I get into my own spreadsheet, I can get rid of the information that doesn't really apply to us, and I can find some averages and do a little analysis on what's going on very specifically in the market that you're at in Brighton. So right now, those 2 actives are, again, the year built is last year and this year, and those are builders. Those are new builds, and this is what the builders are advertising. You know, these numbers we can't really go by for sure. The builders might be advertising their base prices, and then you might have to add money on top of that for upgrades. I think you went through the drill when you bought this house as far as the new build process and going to the design center and picking out all of your features and things like that. I'm not exactly sure. I can't say for certain that that's the case here, but I know these are new builds. I'm not exactly sure how they're advertising these. But anyway, I'm just comparing, what's available. Right now there's none that are resale homes that are available. Only right now you can buy from the builder close by your house. So there are 3 bedrooms. Yours on Apache Plume is also 3 bedrooms. 3 baths, same as yours. The above ground square footage, very, very similar to your home. And the finished square footage. So when you look at these 2 numbers, there's not a difference between the above ground square footage and the finished square footage, even though they have a basement. So we know that these have unfinished basements. So just I'm guessing yours basement is showing up unfinished too. So I'm guessing that's the case. So on average, they're asking right at $400,000 for these 2 new builds. And as you know, with new builds, you can finish them out deluxe and add a lot above that price, or kind of the standard. So I'm just working off of numbers on the computer right now. In order to have the best, most accurate valuation of your home, you need to invite me up there, and I need to take a spin around your house and look at it and see what you have done in the last 10 years to update and upgrade, and some of the changes that you've made, to see how it actually compares to all of these homes that I'm going to show you today. So yours was built in 2006, and on average, these are brand new, the two actives. Now, if we go to under contract, these are homes that two of them were new builds that are under contract, and 3 of them are resales. So on average, they have 3 bedrooms and 3 baths, just like yours. Very similar above ground square footage to yours. And again, they're not having finished basements. So the vast majority of people in this area haven't finished out the basements. So that could be a difference between yours or similar. Again, I don't know. I need to go take a peek at yours. The total square footage, yours it's very similar. It's within 100 square feet. So not a big difference there. These on average have a little bit bigger of a basement than yours. And on average, these under contracts have been, when they were marketed, and they were asking on average $376,500, $376,500. And this one went under contract in 3 days. This one went under contract in 4 days. So those numbers might have gone up. People might have bid higher than asking price. It could have been a competitive bidding situation. That's not uncommon. These two, we can't really go off of these numbers because these are the builder numbers, the days on the market, and they have a certain model, let's say the Crestone model, and they've been advertising that for 190 days. And so they get people to come out, and then they sell them a different Crestone. So the builder's marketing strategies is a little bit different than what a resale would be. So anyway, I'm just trying to compare these under contracts to yours. Now these sold numbers are real numbers that we can go off of, and we can see that on average they have 1 more bedroom than yours, same amount of bathrooms. The square footage is very similar to yours, just a little over 2,000 square feet, and there's no difference between the above ground square footage and the finished square footage. So again, none of these that have sold have had finished basements. The total square footage is within 3 square feet of yours. So very similar homes on these solds. And the basements a little bit larger, but again, they're all unfinished. On average, this is a real number here. They have gotten $383,617 on average. And the average year built, very similar to yours, and the lot size, a little bit larger of a lot than yours. So the other thing is your proximity to 160th. If I came up there and looked, I would like to see, how does that road impact your house. You're pretty close when I look at the map, but different extenuating circumstances could cause it not to be a noise issue or whatever. So that all plays into the sale of your home. But I'll tell you what, Willie, the market right now, since there's no resales available at all within a mile diameter, half-mile radius of your home, that plays into the supply and demand. And so people will be willing to overlook in our current market some negative aspects of your house because they don't have a lot of other options. So right now, here I'm just going over the numbers, and I'm just looking at the raw data, trying to analyze it. And from this information, I'm feeling like 400 is not out of the realm of possibility. I would hope that your house is in average to above average condition. And again, I'd like to see what kind of upgrades and things that you've changed over the last more than 10 years that you've lived in there. But that's the market that we're in. So now I'd like to take you to show you what some of these houses look like specifically. So now if I go back to the MLS and I look up these specific houses, we'll see if the builders have added any decent pictures. It doesn't look like it. So this is a new build. You might be familiar with this area. It's in the Brighton Crossing subdivision, and these are kind of like these patio homes. They're pretty tight in there. And here's the builder's pictures. So these are kind of what they might call a shotgun house, is that it's kind of narrow and deep. And you saw that from the main picture. So kind of basic builder grade stuff. They're advertising the pool, they're advertising the club and the trails, but there's the house. And so not a super impressive house. This one is active on the market for $378. And if we go down here and read about what the builder, it's inventory, this house is ready to go. Low maintenance living, front yard landscaping, so it doesn't have any backyard. I think these guys have alleys in the back if you're familiar with those. And so I think that's a lot different from your house. I think your house has a lot of more interesting features than this one. If I go to this next property, this again is a builder house, and it's just taking a little bit to load. So again, this is an artist rendering of the house. It's not actually the house itself. And again, they're advertising, this is what you can. These are all the wonderful features, but they're not advertising much on the house. And that one's at $419. So if we go down here and read this, says it's move-in ready, new home, has the front and rear landscaping. It's hard to say what they have. It says it has a 3-car garage. But again, the way that builders kind of do this is they, a lot of times it's a bait and a switch. And so they bait people to come in and get them into the builder model sales office, and then they say, oh, that's not available, but we can put you in a different one, and we can do this, that, and the other. And a lot of times the price goes up. I think you probably experienced a little of that when you were shopping for your house. So what I'd like to do is let's take a look at something that sold. Let's see, this one is under contract at $400, and it's D.R. Horton. I don't want to see that one. Let's go to this one that's under contract at $395. And again, that's not necessarily under contract at $395. That's what they were asking for at $395. So this is a lived-in home, and you're going to have to look at how it compares to yours, because I don't know what yours looks like. So it looks like it has a 2.5-car garage, that extra space over there. Granite countertops, laminate flooring. It's got some nicer cabinets as far as it's not the honey oak. That it has a little bit darker. They're not really high-grade cabinets. The wood is ash or birch. It's nothing to write home about. There's the floor plan. Again, you can freeze this if I'm going too quickly. But it's a pretty, nice quality house. It's got the doggy door and all of that. It's got some neat colors they've added to it. There's the granite countertops and the black appliances. So here's the backyard, and so you walk out to a slab and then take a step down over here. It's a pretty high step if you take off there, but kind of a level lot, and it backs up to the neighbors. It's just the way they are. So, oh, here's the upstairs. Has a loft. This is the upstairs loft. And then here's a bedroom. I'm not sure if it's the master. There's the master bath, I would guess. The double sinks. You know what? Well, no, there's the master bath. This is the master bath. It's different. So it has two bathrooms that have the double sinks. Two bathrooms upstairs, one for the secondary bedrooms, and one is the master bath. There's the loft, a different view of the loft, and here's the unfinished basement. So again, you'll have to compare how that one compares to yours. And that one was being offered right at $395, and it went under contract. It sold. It went under contract in 9 days, so pretty immediately. It could have had a multiple bidding situation, and it might sell for above $395. We don't know. If I go back and let's look at some of these solds, let's look at some of the higher priced solds. This one here, I'm looking for resales, not builder homes too. So this one sold for $387, and we're in a dynamic market that's moving up. So this one that sold for $387 would probably sell for more now. Wow, that one's kind of different. Look, it has that one-car garage. It might be tandem double deep, and I think it goes to an alley in the back. I can't be certain on that one. Maybe they have some pictures that'll give us the back. But that's in that patio home type neighborhood, or the, I don't know what they call it, but it's not, they're kind of higher density. So here's a laminate floor. It's got the wood stain pack as far as the interior features on it. That's the main room off of the kitchen. Main room off of the kitchen. They're probably standing in the kitchen taking this photo. And then here's the kitchen. So now they're standing in the room that we were just looking at, shooting into the kitchen. And so it's that great room, a real common style. It looks like the kitchen might have granite. We'll probably get in there in a little bit. Yeah, so there's a granite in the kitchen, and it's got stainless appliances and kind of that same ash type cabinetry, which people like. I'd say the kind of some of the least favorite is the honey oak. And I'm sorry if you might have that, but I'm just telling you that that's what people are not looking for right now. So it has the white doors and nice brushed nickel knobs and fixtures in the bathroom. So it's modern and nice. It looks like it has a upstairs. Well, here's the master with the master closet, a nice sized master closet, kind of a quartz countertop there. Nice modern feel, pretty clean. This is a kid's room. This is probably not as big as it looks. That's a photographic lens that is making it look a little bit bigger, like a fisheye lens. And then here's the backyard. These are pretty tight. These are these patio homes that are pretty close to the neighbors. There's not a lot of grass. It looks like this deck almost goes all the way back to the fence. And then there you're seeing that alley situation. That's the neighbor's back garage. And here's the extent of the yard. It's pretty tight again. It's not a lot of grass, not a lot of yard. And the neighbor's alley's in the back. Oh, so there's that oversized 2-car garage, so you can drive right through it. And look, they're advertising these smaller cars. They look like Volkswagen Beetles in there. But so you can drive in the front, or in the back. So when you go in one way, you don't have the other person trapped in. If it was only one entrance and a solid wall on one, if you needed to get this car out and that was a solid wall, you'd have to pull that car out. So you can either go out the front or out the back, and it's a 2-car garage. So there you have it. Again, I'd like to come and take a look and see what you have compared to these, and that way I could give you a better idea of the value of your house. But I think that that's pretty good. If I go to my spreadsheet, you can see the values. And so if we look at the ones, you said 400, and I think 400 is doable. I really do, because of supply and demand. If you look at the ones that have sold in the last 90 days, in the last 3 months, this is on average. Again, we're in competition with some of the builders. And then if you go back to the ones that are under, so look at this average number. So it's at 377, let's say. And now this average number is at 399. So these are a little bit older. These are a little bit younger. And you can see that is in the market that is increasing, that the deeper you get into the market. So if you're serious about selling your house at 400, I think it's doable. I met with you in front of your sister's house in Hoffman, told you a little bit about my philosophy as far as percentages versus a flat fee, and thinking that it takes a certain amount of advertising, marketing. I definitely do it different than most people. 99% of the realtors aren't going to send you a YouTube video on the value of your house as quickly as I sent this one out to you. So I hire a professional photographer to come in, take the photos. They're going to look as good or better than anything that we saw today. My communication is prompt and quick. I'm always available within 24 hours to return any phone call. And so I just go with the philosophy, I want to get her done, and I want to work with people that need to get it done. And if that's your case, I would love to work with you and hopefully sell your house for a record price in Brighton. So anyway, you can get a hold of me at 303-726-0867. 303-726-0867. And this is Max with Metro Brokers.